Good morning/afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to today's presentation on the biological underpinnings of criminal behavior. We will be exploring how genetic factors, neurobiological processes, and environmental influences interact to shape such behaviors. This comprehensive review draws on the latest scientific evidence and discusses what these findings could mean for criminal justice policies and intervention strategies. Let's dive into this fascinating and important topic together. When we talk about biological predictors of criminal behavior, we're looking at how certain factors within our biology can influence the likelihood of engaging in criminal acts. These include genetics, which can pass down traits related to behavior, abnormalities in brain structure, and imbalances in biochemistry. All of these elements can shape how a person thinks and acts. Specifically, they can affect impulse control, making it harder for some individuals to regulate their actions, increase tendencies toward aggression, and impact emotional regulation, which plays a crucial role in decision-making and social interactions. In this presentation, we'll dive into the scientific evidence that supports the idea that criminal behavior has biological roots, helping us better understand the complex factors that contribute to such behavior. Genetic factors play a significant role in the risk of criminal behavior, with studies on twins and adoptees suggesting that heritability accounts for about 40 to 60% of this risk. One gene that has received a lot of attention is the MAOA gene, often nicknamed the warrior gene, because of its association with increased aggression. This link is especially strong in individuals who experience maltreatment during childhood. The MAOA gene impacts the way certain neurotransmitters are metabolized in the brain, which in turn influences how people respond to environmental stressors. Understanding this gene helps us see how biology and environment interact to shape behavior. Research shows that criminals often have reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is a part of the brain responsible for decision-making and controlling impulses. This means they might struggle more with thinking through the consequences of their actions or resisting temptations. Additionally, many criminals display abnormalities in the amygdala, the area that processes emotions and fear responses. When the amygdala doesn't function properly, it can lead to difficulties in managing emotions, which might contribute to aggressive behavior. Together, these structural differences offer some insight into why certain individuals may have a harder time controlling aggressive urges or inhibiting negative behaviors. Serotonin plays a crucial role in regulating behavior, especially when it comes to aggression. Research shows that low levels of serotonin are closely linked to increased impulsivity and a higher likelihood of violent actions. On a biochemical level, when serotonin is deficient, it can disrupt emotional stability and make it harder for individuals to control aggressive impulses. Clinically, this connection is well supported, with serotonin emerging as a key factor in how people might respond aggressively and even influencing tendencies toward criminal behavior. Understanding this helps us grasp how brain chemistry can shape behavior in profound ways. When we look at testosterone, we see a clear connection to certain behaviors, especially those related to aggression and dominance. Elevated levels of this hormone are often associated with more aggressive actions. Additionally, testosterone plays a significant role in encouraging risk-taking. People with higher testosterone levels tend to engage in more confrontational or risky behaviors, which in some cases can lead to criminal activity. By studying these hormonal influences, we gain valuable insight into the biological pathways that contribute to antisocial behavior, helping us better understand how biology and behavior are linked. When we look at prenatal and early developmental factors, biological predisposition plays a crucial role. For example, maternal stress, exposure to toxins, birth complications, and other early environmental insults can set the stage for antisocial or criminal behavior later in life. These factors directly impact brain development, particularly affecting how stress response systems function. When these systems are altered early on, it makes individuals more vulnerable to behavioral problems as they grow. This link between early conditions and stress response is significant because it means that the way someone's body handles stress can be shaped before they're even born. That's why early intervention in high-risk environments is so important. It offers a chance to alter these developmental pathways and reduce the risk of future antisocial behavior. Addressing these factors early can make a real difference in outcomes. When we talk about gene-environment interaction in criminal behavior, the first important point is that biological predispositions alone don't determine whether someone will engage in criminal acts. Genes might set certain tendencies, but it's really the environment that shapes how or if these tendencies are expressed. Next, research on the MAOA gene provides clear evidence of this interaction. Studies have found that individuals with certain versions of this gene who also experience adverse conditions, like childhood maltreatment, have a higher risk of exhibiting criminal behavior. So, it's the combination of genetic makeup and environmental experience that matters. Finally, this all highlights the need for a biosocial perspective. We can't fully predict behavior just by looking at biology. Understanding criminal behavior requires considering both biological factors and the social environment together, reflecting the true complexity of human actions. On this slide, we look at three key studies that have shaped our understanding of the biological and environmental factors in aggression and antisocial behavior. First, Caspi and colleagues in 2002 provided compelling evidence for gene-environment interaction. Their work showed that individuals with a particular variant of the MAOA gene, when exposed to childhood maltreatment, were more likely to develop antisocial outcomes. This highlights how genetics and environment work together, not in isolation. Next, Rain in 2002 contributed important findings from brain imaging research. He showed that reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, a region responsible for decision-making and impulse control, is linked to violent behavior. This helps explain the neurological basis behind some forms of aggression. Finally, Verkinen and his team in 1994 focused on biochemical factors by measuring serotonin metabolites in violent offenders. Their discovery of lower serotonin levels supports the idea that brain chemistry plays a critical role in aggressive behavior. Together, these studies underline the complexity of aggression and the need to consider multiple biological and environmental factors. When we think about criminal justice policy, one important implication is the potential for tailored sentencing and rehabilitation. By integrating biological insights, we can design more personalized approaches that address the specific needs and risks of individuals, rather than using a one-size-fits-all model. This could lead to more effective rehabilitation outcomes. Another key point is prevention through early intervention. If we understand the biological risk factors that contribute to criminal behavior, we have a chance to intervene earlier and target the root causes before offenses occur. This proactive approach could reduce crime rates and improve overall community safety. Finally, these advances bring up crucial ethical considerations. Questions of responsibility and how to fairly apply biological data in the justice system require careful thought. We need to ensure that such information is used with nuance and respect for individual rights, avoiding simplistic or deterministic judgments. This balance is essential for a just and equitable criminal justice system. To wrap up, it's important to recognize that criminal behavior doesn't stem from a single cause. Instead, it's shaped by a complex mix of biological, psychological, and social influences all interacting with one another. Because of this complexity, relying on integrated models that combine these different factors is crucial for gaining a complete understanding and developing effective strategies to address antisocial behavior. Looking ahead, future research should prioritize long-term studies that track these interactions over time, as well as more nuanced gene-environment frameworks. These approaches will be key to informing more effective interventions and shaping policies that make a real difference.